Okay, 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 okay. We're here now. 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 Okay, okay. Let me know where you're joining us from. Let me know. I'm in the comment right now, so I'm trying to set things up. Where are you joining me from? Let me know. Yeah, I'd love to interact with you guys. Tell me where you're joining us from, and let's have a little bit of quick interaction, and let's get into it today. It's not going to be a long class today. Let's see where you're joining us from. Where you joining us from? Nigeria, Kenya. It's a beautiful place. Yeah, call your friends to hop on board. You know, I would do it here. Um, Watching, following you up. Oh, that's beautiful. Silva, let me know where joining us from. Let me know. I love the interaction. Uh, before anything. And no, I don't have a book recommendation right now. I haven't. I've actually slowed down a little bit on my book reading because I'm a little more busy in life now. But I still try to catch up any time I can. Let me know where you're joining us from. Let me see. Where are you joining us from? Someone says Makodi. Oh, okay. So we got a lot of Nigerians here today. Let me know, let me know, let me know. First, I want to know where you are joining me from before I even start anything. I want to get to know you guys. I just want to get to interact with you guys. And yeah, let me know where you're joining us from and how was your week, right? I'm gonna read the comment first before we get into, you know, before we get into the videos for the week. Let me see. Okay. How was your trading week? And where are you joining me from? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Uh, I'm reading through the charts right now. It's quite funny. Pluto from Word. Quite an interesting name. Uh, Let me see what you're joining us from. Let's see. Wait a second. I want to set this up so that it can be as clear enough so that we can have the high def. We can have the high def version. Okay. Let's see if we can have the high def version of this. Let's see. So while we're doing that, let me know how has your week been so far. I'm talking with respect to trading. Tell me what was your biggest win this week? Not in terms of number, I'm not interested in your number, but what was your biggest win in terms of like what did you do right? What did you do wrong? What are the things that you're learning to improve? All of that. Because I might just answer your question. I might just answer your question. Okay, reading through the comments. Says Lagos. Another person says from New Jersey. Okay. No trading week for me because I didn't see any setup. That was really good. Yeah, let's interact a bit. How was your trading week? What was your biggest obstacle this week? What was your biggest, win this week with respect to what you were able to do really good? Let me know. My risk management is still not working for me. Okay, risk management issue. Okay, let me know. Real quick. Someone says, where are you? I'm based in Vancouver, Canada. Someone says, well, it's been wonderful week from Monday to Friday. I only see just 2 trades to match my strategy. 2 trades in a week is beautiful. Someone says still learning, nothing much. Yeah, it's good. You have to go through the phases of learning, and that is how it is, right? No setup this week on GBP JPY. Perhaps there was setup on GBP JPY this week, but depending on how you see it. Myself, I wasn't able to actually maximize my setup. I took a loss this week on my GJ, which I'm going to talk about, but there was definitely a setup when you look at it in hindsight. Someone says execution issue. What about execution is the issue, right? And you guys have to understand that there's a difference between analysis and execution. I talk more about this in my course, right? If you are feeling stuck, you can click on the link in the description. You can actually join the team, right? I really spoke exclusively on execution. Execution is a very important part of trading. So your execution, if you cannot convert your analysis into execution, I think it's going to be a very big issue. And earlier this week, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, I did myself a very big live stream with my students and community where we kind of see the market condition right now and how we can actually modify also our execution and just our methodology into fitting into the narrative of the market, because without being able to convert like your execution of your strategy analysis into an execution, then you're not just going to make the most out of your trading, because your trade only happens at the point of execution, right? So no matter how good your analysis is, if you cannot convert that into profit, then there's a big gap right there that you need to work on. Okay. What else? Where are you joining us from, and what is your biggest strength or weakness in the market this week? Talk to me about it. I really want to try and contribute as much as possible. And I would recommend for the person having an execution issue, go to one of my videos where I talked about like execution using candlestick versus structural execution. Go to one of my videos there, and you're gonna see I have spoken about many of these things, and I gave it for free, right? So I feel like there are many things that are really gonna help you from my channel. What else? What issues so far? Okay, so I'm gonna get into what the market is doing this week, and perhaps I'm gonna give us a setup for this new week. I took a loss this week on GJ, and proudly so. I can say, because I can say it. Yeah, I can say it because I can say it. A lot of people would not want to be able to talk about it. You don't talk about losses, and you're in the trading business. I think just a bit unrealistic. Someone says I'm still struggling with holding trades after getting good setup. Then that means the reason why you're struggling holding trades is because you lack confidence. The reason why you lack confidence is because you've not backtested enough to get your data. If you have your data and it's very strong, so what do I mean? So let's say you tested your strategy out of 10 trades, you were able to make 7 trades. Your win rate is 70% of your total of your total trade activity in the market. The moment you realize that, it becomes easy for you to hold your trade, because now your confidence is attached to a data, right? You've backtested enough. So most of the time when people struggle with lack of confidence, you don't have enough data from your strategy. And backtesting is not just to take a trade and close it and say, I made a win, I made a loss. No, there are some data you want to see. Yeah, I talked about this to my students all the time. You want to see your execution time frame, trade duration, many more parameters, right? Many more parameters that I kind of like, just look at. It's not really about the activity itself. It's not about the trade you pick. It's about the specific, component of that trade. Like, what factored your exit point? Why do you exit right here? Based on your strategy? Are you trading in direction of trend? Was this trade against the trend? I have about maybe 20 to 25 data I look out for when I'm backtesting the market, right? And backtesting is not, again, it's not about opening your trade and closing it. It's not about, oh, I made win here, I made losses right here. Yes, having a comment statement on your win or loss is actually very important. But beyond just the start and the finish, there's a lot in between that you want to be able to get out. And those in-between styles are what are going to bring about your confidence, right? And the confidence is being gotten from just the knowledge of the possible outcome, behavior of your trade from start to finish. And once you have that, there's no trade that you're going to pick that you are going to find any issue holding. This is a game I give to you, right? Make sure you put it down. It's a very big game, right? So you don't have confidence because you don't have knowledge. And when I say knowledge, it's not about the knowledge of the Forex market, knowledge of the behavior and the data and the performance and efficiency of your own strategy in the market. So, and I hope this helps someone. Okay, I'm just going to take 1 or 2 more questions, then I'm just going to jump into this. I'm not going to take long on this chart. Let's jump into this. So 1 or 2 more questions. And yeah, a lot of people say I haven't dropped a video in a while. I mean, yeah, I've been busy, being a little bit busy. I mentioned I was going to make a video on passing prop firms and all of that, but I'll see how that goes. Yeah, so we don't have any question here anymore. So let's get into the market and see what happened this week. Before even that, let's look at what happened this week. So this week I took a loss on this on GBP JPY. Okay, I took a loss on GBP JPY this week, and I'm going to analyze, what really went on. Why did we make this loss? It's very important for us to know, for me to share with you guys, and what are the lessons I learned, and what am I looking forward for the next trade. I have a trade in mind right now that I shared with my community, and we're definitely going to take that trade, and it's going to be a winning trade, by the way. And let's see how the market is going. And I just want to make this I just want to address this correction, right? You see, I want you guys to actually have a growth mindset when it comes to trading. Let me tell you something. This is trading. It's a risk business. You have an edge, but you are still prone to losing, right? And I want to speak to you especially like the intermediate trader and the new trader, even some of you that have been in the market for too long, right? I said something on my free Telegram channel. If you're not on my Telegram channel, you can find the link in the description and join. I try to give nuggets as much as possible. And if you want to contact me directly, you're going to see my contact in there. I will never reach out to you first, okay? I wanted to say this about like having the right psychology when it comes to like trading. I'm going to tell you this, right? This is trading. It is a risk business, right? And what do I mean by trading being a risk business is the fact that you can have all your hedge put together, but you can still make out losses. Now, you see, when you start to have losses in the market, most people, and because of how we are wired as humans, most people are going to leave that strategy and go find another one. Oh, my strategy is not working. If provided your strategy had made so much winning for you in the past, that is not the time to move to another strategy. And I use an analogy when I was addressing my private students yesterday. I said, if you have a car and your car is due for servicing, you don't say, I'm just going to keep using this car like that. Why? Because the car is going to break down. That's number one outcome. You can't say, you know what, I'm just going to ditch this car and I'm going to go get another car because this car is due for servicing. It's going to cost you more to get another car. It's going to cost you more. It's going to be way more expensive for you to get another car. Simple. And that is how many traders behave. When your strategy that's been working for you and be very efficient for you, when perhaps the market conditions are changing and you feel the need that the market is not delivering to you as much as before, instead of you abandoning that strategy or keep using it without reviewing it, if you keep using it without reviewing it, it's going to cause you more losses. If you decide you want to ditch it and go find another strategy, it's going to cost you time and losses as well. So the best thing is when you find a strategy, you want to be able to play the game of consistency, right? You want to be able to play the game where you're very much consistent with what you are doing. So take, for example, if the market conditions are changing, you want to say, what is it about the market that's affecting my strategy? Okay, maybe the way I analyze the market, do I trade against the trend? Maybe the market is really not giving room for people trading against the trend right now. Oh, maybe when I trade in direction of the trend, one confluence I used to wait for before I enter is not enough. I need to wait for double confluences. This is how you get to pick and edit your strategy, edit it, optimize. That is what we call strategy optimization. So you get to pick, you get to edit, you get to pick, you get to edit, you get to pick, edit until it starts to work again. You keep moving. When the market condition changes again, you're gonna get a feedback. So for me, I set a rule for myself. If I take a loss back to back consecutively or respectively for 4 or 5 times, I'm going to go back and review my strategy and say, you know what, I think the market conditions changing. This is what I need to add. This is what I need to remove. This is how to think like a trader, right? This is how to actually express your strategy. And in that same way, your psychology gets heightened, improved, your confidence in your strategy. When you fix it and see it's working back again, it goes higher. And the strategy generally gets evolving. That's the mindset. Unfortunately, a lot of traders, when you see that you're not making money, oh, this is not working, this person, even regardless of which mentor you have, it doesn't mean they're not good, okay? It means that there's something that needs to be adjusted. And when it's adjusted, it's going to be fixed and you're going to go back on making profit. I don't want you guys to have like the monkey mind where you jump from one person to another. Oh, probably you're here because you're with your mentor and you feel like this is not working. Stop jumping. Stop jumping, provided you have a good and honest mentor, right? Try to look at what is going on in the market. Oh, why is this not working? Discuss it together and see how this works, okay? And this is a very big advice I'm going to give to you. Now, let's look at what the market is doing. This week, I had a sell coming in right at this point. I had a sell bias right at this point, and I think I actually spoke about this. I'm not sure if I've spoken about this, but yes, I had a sell, possibility at this point. Remember, I told you guys the market is going to 208 and it's going to get to 208, but I want to be able to take advantage of the little retracement and correction in the market, and that's what I did. And it didn't go very well for me, right? And when the market got to this point this week on a 1 hour time frame, I love to use the 1 hour time frame for execution. I saw that my goal was to take the trade to this point right here. My goal was to sell the trade to this point right here. If you remember, right? I actually had a setup that goes this way. The market turning this resistance into support right here. And I was looking for a sell opportunity if the market breaks and pull back to this level so that I can sell back to this level for about 103, right? So the market didn't hit that level. The market came all the way down and the market broke this particular low right here. So I was anticipating, the market giving me, a pushback to this trend line level for me to sell further down. Unfortunately, the market I had my order right here. The market just went up and, it couldn't, give me what I was expecting. So the question now is what really went wrong? So I'm just going to do two things at the same time. I'm going to be analyzing what the market is doing right now, and I'm going to just comment about the reasons for the loss. And it's very important. Don't after a loss, try to just move on without addressing it. Okay, make sure you always address your losses. And when I say address your losses, accept it. Look what I did wrong. That's the only way you get to improve. That's just the mindset. So without doing much, let us see what the market is doing. And I'm going to be analyzing right now. And I'm going to give a comment on why the loss came on about, in hindsight, right? And I can tell you this, you don't need a lot of information. You know me, you've seen my charts. I keep it clean. You don't need a lot of information in the market. What you need is an understanding. It's not about what you put on your chart. It's about what you see in your mind, right? So, let's see on the daily time frame. The first thing I want to see is I want to first have an understanding of where the market is going, which was, what I explained to you guys last week. So I'm not going to be spending more time on that. I see a lot of people love the live session we did last week because it helped you guys. It helped you guys really just have a deep understanding of the market. And shout out to the folks that just joined the academy. I can see that you guys are really doing extremely very well. And shout out to everyone, man. And if you know you're still struggling, you could send me a DM right after now. Let's get you on board, and perhaps I might be giving you some discount so that you can get started. So yes, so the first thing we can see right here is that the market is within a range. We have the low range, we have the higher range, right? And this is all that matters to us. For the next couple months, this is the zones that we are going to be trading within. So all you have to do is to collect the right data, and once you collect the right data, everything starts to fall in shape. So now the first thing I see right here is that this is the low, this is the high. The market start to give us a pullback retracement to this level, but the market started to reject right here. Now, what do you see right here? The market will not break below this low. It's as simple as it can get. Why could the market not break below this low, right? Because the market is still on an overall uptrend, right? And if the market could not break below the low, what does that mean? The market is going back to the upside. So I told you guys this. I will say it again. The market is going to the 208 level. The market is going to the 208 level. You hear it here first, right? And whenever the market hit that 208 level, send me your screenshots and let me see it. And hopefully some of you are able to make money from just that move, okay? So now, what has happened right here? What has happened is very simple. Not only has the market rejected this low, the market is beginning to form into a higher low right at this point, okay? So the market is beginning to form into a higher low right at this point of rejection. But how do we confirm, the higher low? So let me just say the high low right here so I don't forget what I'm doing on the chart. So we have the market rejection on this higher low right here. So how do we confirm the market is going on the higher low, right? It was very simple. While the market was selling back to this level, the market had already given us a break of structure to the upside. And here, all we are having right here is just the market forming into a discount point, right? So for channel traders or trend traders, a lot of them are going to be looking at this right now. A lot of channel traders are going to be looking at this right now, and they want to just keep buying the market to the upside. But we do way than that. We're not channel traders. The way we analyze and see the market are way more advanced than just drawing trend lines. So why that works as well, but we just do it way more better. Okay. So what do we have right here? So we have this level breaking and the market has been rejecting, right? And that is the most important thing that we want to know, right? That's the most important thing. So on the 4 hours, I'm just going to come here on the 4 hours time frame and just identify, the reversal level, right? There's a way I use my Fibonacci, which I share with my student. Trust me, the most accurate way ever. So what we've been able to do now is we've been able to obtain the real Fibonacci level of the market, right? So what does that mean? That means that these levels are the levels of the buyer's injections into the market. That is all that we want to see right here. The market has been giving us a retracement structure. And what do we have right here? We have low, we have high, we have low right here, we have high, we have low, we have lower highs, and we have this lower low right here. So I anticipate a situation whereby the market will keep going back to the upside and keep pushing to the upside. Now, since November last year, I've spoken to us about the 208 level. But this is the reality of the market. The market is going to take its time before the market moves in the direction it wants to move, right? So that is the case study that we are seeing right here. So left to me, I would have thought the market was going to move from this level, but look at something. The market could not break this last lower high, so it couldn't do that. Okay, I thought the market was going to move from this level, but guess what? The market could not break this last lower high, came back down to this level. So the market came to give us a double exhaustion right in this level. Yeah, I love to tell my students double exhaustion means that orders are coming into the market and the market is going to push it all the way up. And notice how the market tried to go below this level, but the market rejected almost instantly. And now we have the market pushing to the upside. So where are my different target points I'm looking at in the market? I'm looking at this target point right here, right? While I'm looking at the 208 level, I definitely want to look out for different key levels where the market might actually be rejecting. So I'm looking at this level and, I'm looking at this level. So it doesn't mean that this level is going to reject the market or something, but it means that these levels are key levels where the market might be finding a reaction. So when the market gets there, I'm not really that, moved, because I just know where the market is going to. And I just know that that level could lead to just a minor retracement, right? So that retracement level could offer me more opportunity as well, right? So this is why it's very important for you to identify this level. So we have the level one, so I'm just going to use, this, then we have the level 0.2 where I would expect the market to move. We have the level 0.3 where I would expect the market to get onto. And you can see that this week, my initial prediction was perhaps we're going to get more buyer's injection at this low before we push the upside, but the market broke above that side, telling me that, okay, the market is not going to wait for just that, double exhaustion before it goes to where I want it to go, but rather the market is moving. And what do I do as a trader? I simply just accept what the market wants to give me and just push my buyers in the direction of the market. So this is what we're looking at right now. So my next level that I'm trying to target is going to be this level right here. So what am I looking at? Let's go to the 4 hours time frame. So the 4 hours time frame, what do we have? We want to see how the market has progressed since that period, right? We want to see how well the market has been moving with respect to that projection since that period. So all of these are just those level of rejection where we anticipate the market to reject. So what has the market done so far? The market has given us this push exhaustion to give us a higher low, right? And the market did give us a break right here, higher high. Then the markets retested this level and the market started to move on a new structure point right here. And the market is pulling back to this level. So the most important thing I wanted to see here is the fact that this was the low. You know, we have a low right here, which was the previous area resistance, down support, where the market was rejecting from. So this was a low point right here, okay, where the market was rejecting. Then we have this old previous area resistance, down support, when the market rejected initially, right? So what do I have right there? Let me just keep this right here for the sake of reference, right? So what do I have right here? I see that the market has made a push. You know, the market broke this level. This was the point where we thought the market was going to give us the rejection. And rightfully so, the market, you know, was giving us a pullback, right? But the market could not sustain that. So what did the market do? The market rejected the Fibonacci level off of this level, right? And it started to make the move to the upside, which is very, very good. So what is the next point right now? Well, the next point is the market is coming into the zone. And what am I waiting? I'm looking for buy opportunities in the market. So what buy opportunities can I see in the market? I see the market right here sitting on this level. So we have this area of resistance right here, also where the market can actually, you know, come into, and the market can actually offer also rejection. And I can see that the trend line is also moving in the direction of the trend, you know, right there. So what am I looking at right here? I'm anticipating a rejection right on this level, not just this level being the previous, you know, resistance on support, which is a very important confluence, but we also have the market rejecting right at the Fibonacci level at this point right here. So we have the Fibonacci level could cover all of this zone right here. So this is a very important zone for us where the market could be rejecting. So now we know where the market is rejecting. We know where the market could, you know, actually go moving to. And if you remember last week, I have a CSC level. Okay, I think that's for my private student. We had a CSC level where we said the market is going to eat right here, and the market is literally respecting that. The market didn't give us that sell, but the market went on to respect that. So which for the hats onto our key confluences. So coming to the 1 hour time frame, which is where we want to pick a trade. What are we waiting for? Right? There are different ways to enter this trade, okay? But let me just discuss the most you know, easiest one, right? So the first things first is now you wanted to be able to look at the market when the market was coming back down. So all of this move are just retracement move with lower lows, lower highs, previous area of support and resistance right here. Is the market going to get here and give us a rejection before it starts to move up? We actually do not know. But what I can actually identify out right now is the counter trend line. So now we have a counter trend line right here. And my bias is very simple. If the market ever pushes this level, then we're going to have this level right there. And when this market moves to this level, we are going to be having another push or upside. So these are the different levels that I'm looking at for the market to actually give us some sort of violation around. So if the market should respect that level and find a change structure and the break of the counter trend line, we're going to be having a very good trade right here. And this trade could give us anything. If we had to do a foretelling of what this market could do, it could give us anything from 1:4.8 to, let's say, 1:3 to 1:4.8, either of them. So all I do right now, we've gotten our possible setups based on what the market is doing. We've gotten our possible point where the market is going to possibly be rejecting right here. So what am I waiting for right now? Now, this is the time where your psychology now comes in place. We've had the technical side of things. Whatever is remaining is transferred to this place, right? This is the, guys, look at me. This is where he's at. This is where he's at, right? Don't let the market get to you, okay? Don't let the market get to you. You've had your setups, right? Everything is looking amazing, right? So far, everything is looking so great so far. You've got your setups. So what exactly would the market want to do? The market want to play tricks on you. Trust me, trust me. Now, and what do I say the market want to play tricks on you? It's not actually the market. When I say the market, it is you playing tricks on you, right? This market is just a bunch of candlesticks, right? If there was no incentive attached to this chart right now, if there was no money attached to, if there was no money reward attached to this chart right now, this chart will not evoke your emotion. But because it involves money, your emotion is on the line. And what kind of emotion would you almost feel here? The fear of missing out. Okay, let me explain to you. Let me tell you this, right? What I do for most people that come to my mentorship is, this is the simplest part of trading. I could teach you how to analyze the market in 3 weeks, 2 weeks, and all of that. But where the job is at is here. This is where I kind of get you. And I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek of that, right? You see now, let me tell you the kind of emotions you are going to feel when you get to this point. The most important emotion you're going to feel first would be fear of missing out. You found a good trade. Your life, you're seeing your possibility of making money, your possibility of your life changing on this chart right now. So you've attached emotion to this trade, okay? Now, why are you being afraid? You're not, fear usually manifests when there's ignorance, right? When there's no knowledge, there's fear, right? So you do not know the outcome of a trade. Perhaps number one, this fear could stem from two places. Number one, lack of confidence, because you're watching me do it. For me, I'm not afraid, right? Because I've done it over and over, right? Or perhaps you're watching it do it. Maybe sometimes you don't even know if this is going to play out. So that fear of not missing out, that stems from, you fund all this level, you know that this level can actually, reject the market, but you don't know if the market is going to keep moving up and it's going to move against you. So what do I mean? You might have a situation where the market is going to move up right now, and then you feel like you've missed this opportunity, only for the market to close back, give you some sort of like retest right here and continue to move back to the upside. But you didn't see that coming, right? A lot of people do not see that coming. A lot of people, when they see this, they see that, oh, the money I want to make is gone, right? Now, what does that fear lead to? That fear leads to impatience, okay? Notice how they connect. It starts from fear. You have confidence analyzing this. I will analyze it with you guys, right? Now, that fear leads to impatience. So how does fear connect to impatience? The fear of missing out. I don't want to miss out on this trade. This seems like a good setup. Yemi has analyzed it with us, and I think it's great. Now I'm not patient anymore, right? Now, this is fear right now, added with impatience. What does that mean? You are being impatient out of a place of fear. You're no longer in control. So when you are impatient and you're afraid at the same time, what happens? The most predominant thought in your mind is, how can I escape that, right? To fulfill the reason why I'm feeling this tension. That's why most of you get into a trade prematurely. Now, what now happens? Look at it. So you enter this trade, the trade is moving up, you start to see profit, you're smiling, right? And the market hit this level, the market starts to make a move to the down part. Now, you're not seeing a possibility of the market distributing before it goes back up. What you are seeing right here is literally your profit wiping out. So what do? You get out on a loss. You get out on a loss. So once you get out on a loss, guess what? First of all, and most likely because you entered a little bit late, you want to make up for the money. Your initial entry is going to be over leverage. I can promise you that. I've been there. I've trained hundreds and thousands of students, and I've seen the same pattern repeat itself. Your initial entry most likely is going to be you over leveraging. And because you're over leveraging, you can't afford to see any retracement. So now you see the market rejecting that level. Guess what comes to your mind? I don't want to lose this money, right? So you close on loss. Perhaps the loss is a little bit too much down. And most of the time, a lot of people actually enter into a sell. Oh, the previous area of support has hit the market and the market is just going to keep going down. That is what a lot of people think. But if you are patient enough to wait for the market and allow the market to give you this break right here, if you're patient enough to wait for the market and allow the market to give you this break right here, right, what you're going to find out is that now you've established the fact that this level is going to reject. Then if you're patient enough, allow the market offer you a discount. A discount is a cheaper price. Is just think about it. you want to buy something right now, and in the market is about $100, right? And there's Black Friday, and on Black Friday it's going to be worth $50. Are you going to be able to wait for Black Friday? Yes, because it is guaranteed. So ability to wait for the right discount to enter into the market is actually a very big deal. And in some situation, you would never even buy that stuff if you feel like, I mean, how would you charge me $100 for this, right? Because it doesn't just make sense, and I'm not just going to buy until the price gets lower, right? So that is sometimes how you get to kind of leave a trade, say, you know what, I'm not just going to enter this trade because it doesn't fit into my agenda. And this is how it worked in the Forex market. So now, what we've been able to do is we've been able to spell out, of course, the reasons for our losses. We were wrong on that. Even though the market came down, we couldn't pick the first one. We tried to pick the second one. The market went against us. And guess what? We didn't argue with the market. We are not saying, oh, the market is wrong, it's still going to go down. No, we've actually made a case for the market that the market is going to keep going up. So anywhere within the zone, anywhere from this zone, right, just take your profit. You don't have to be in the market. It doesn't have to hit. When you're waiting for the market to hit the right point and just those spin points, it's no longer you in control, it's your greed in control, okay? So this is what I'm going to be looking out for on GJ. The simpler it gets, one of the review I had with my students this week, it's very simple. The end goal is the simpler you make it seem, the better it is for you. So this is what we're going to be looking at for in the market, and I'm going to be looking forward to actually this trade, next week if the market ever presents the opportunity. So I've done my setup. I'm waiting for my setup to actually offer me the opportunity. Then I confirm my opportunity. And some people just do not care, right? I know a lot of my friends who are very fantastic traders in the market, multiple 6-7 figure traders in the market. They already know that this is going up and they just take the trade right here, right? However, they have their own key confluences, right? So don't just model someone you see online. If I do not tell you in depth what I do and I don't expose you to it, don't just look at that and just say you want to enter. And for you guys that love signals, always wanting to take shortcuts, I would advise you to stop. If you really want to build a career right here, it doesn't make sense. If I say, okay, buy GBP JPY at 192.205, how does it make sense? You don't even know why I'm entering this trade. I'm just giving you signals. You don't even know why I'm entering this trade. And then all of a sudden you want to have confidence. You do not want to be afraid on something I give you and you have no knowledge of why I'm taking the trade. Come on, guys, think about it, right? If you really want to be, and I'm talking to the serious guys here that really want to build a career in trading. If I give you a signal, you have no context of why I'm taking the trade. You have no reasons for why I'm finding my point of interest. You have no reason, you have no understanding of my execution. You have no understanding of my exit. You have no understanding of how much of my portfolio I'm risking on it. I just say, buy GBP at this level. That is the reason why you are going to be checking your phone. That's just the reason, man. That's the reason why you're going to keep checking your phone. And that has already destroyed your confidence from the beginning. That's why you see a lot of traders, it takes so many years to kind of undo the damage that has been done, right? So you started with signal every time you're checking your phone. It's a gamble to you because you don't have an edge. Literally, you do not have an edge. It's a gamble. So how do you behave when you're gambling, right? You have to hope. Now, your hope is in the fact that the market is going to keep going up. If the market starts to come down, you don't know why. It's like the market is literally controlling your emotion. Every candlestick is controlling your emotion. Now, you've had that kind of damage. Then you finally say, you know what, signal is not working for me. I want to trade. But guess what? There's already the deposit of that bad psychology of marrying your trade, of babysitting your trade, and it takes a lot. And usually when I get people, I ask most folks questions about like their trading journey. I can tell where they have mentally. I can tell the kind of exposure they've had to certain things. And usually it takes a longer time to kind of rewire the mind before I'm able to set a new foundation to them, right? So if you're going through this, my recommendation for you is this: it's not sustainable. Stop taking signals. learn how to trade yourself. That's why I don't give signals. I just give you my bias of where I think the market is going, and do whatever you want based on your own execution strategy. And that's why you get to learn. And sometimes I give you guys hint on why I'm executing that trade, so that you know exactly the reason why I am buying or the reason why I am selling. Don't trade signals. Stop trading signals. It doesn't make sense. You can't get rich off of that. You are not smarter than the market. Sorry to say, right? You're not really smarter than the market. A lot of people have tried it, okay? So this is it. And this is what we're going to be looking at right now. We've been able to break the market down. We're bullish. And we're going to, the market is on a bullish trend. Just let me establish that long term. I think for now, to the end of summer, to the end of the year, perhaps we can actually keep being on the bullish side of things. So don't be surprised if the market keep moving up. That 208 level, we're definitely going to hit it, right? How soon are we going to hit it? I don't know. Are we going to hit it? Yes. Am I going to keep taking opportunities as we proceed? Yes. So this is how to trade the market. I'm going to be taking a few questions based on this, then we're going to call it a day. Do we have any questions here? Let me know where you're joining us from, and you can go on with your questions. I'm going to be spending 5 minutes on this. So I'm going to be in the chart right now. It doesn't have to be on this chart, okay? I just want to see how I can help you with any difficulty you are having in your staying. You know, not a lot of people do this. Let me see. Let me see. You can see the Forex trading is not as hard as you think it is. Even when you're making losses, it's not really that hard. All you got to do is just to know the reason why and fix it. It's very simple. Trade in direction of trend. Find your point of interest and just keep taking your trade. Okay, in the absence of no question, I can see a bunch of you guys already in my DM on Telegram. For people that wants to reach out to me, there's a lot of people using my name to wanting to scam. Please, you got to be careful. We're trying our best, you know, to reduce that. We can't totally stop that because, you know, it's human, right? But if you want to get access to me directly, join my Telegram group and text me. You're going to see the contacted me. When you text that, you're going to be talking to me directly. And for the folks that are already on the wait list for the May mentorship course, I'm going to be responding to everyone today. And shout out to the guys that took the April. It's super amazing. I can see like the kind of growth is really crazy. And shout out to, you know, some of my students that are actually hitting new milestones. You know, I can see a lot of people hitting the 5 figures milestone right now, which is good. Specifically, shout out to Frank. Frank is doing incredibly well for himself. Like he's been doing extremely well for himself. And for guys that want to join the May course, you can text me directly. You're definitely going to be getting some discount off. And yes, for everyone who has asked me when is the next boot camp, I'm not sure myself. I don't want to give you guys a date and not show up. I've been a little bit busy. These days I just focus on just the mentorship community. And but the boot camp is gonna come, and the video on how to pass prop firm. I think I need to lecture you guys on how to pass prop firm for real. You know, it's not just about trading. Most of us focus on the operation. You don't focus on the planning that goes into passing prop firm. I'm going to talk about that someday soon. And yes, and this is where we're going to end it right now. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, I'm definitely going to put out a teaching and education video version, not just analysis video. And shout out to everyone who has been rocking with us. Share this to your friends. Let them know the trading isn't hard, honestly. All you have to do is to take some step backs and look at, try to fix what is wrong, and that's all. For for folks who are still trading signal, please, you should leave this community if you still want to trade signals, because here this is where you're gonna learn to be independent. This is not where you learn to depend on one person. And I'm not coming here for you guys to idolize me or whatever. Whatever it is you see me doing, you can do it. I'm not one of those people that derives so much joy because you all depend on me. Don't be dependent on me, right? I'm dependent on God myself. So just learn from what I'm doing. Stop wasting your hard-earned money. Learn, invest in learning, and you are going to be good. Shout out to everyone, and have a wonderful rest of your weekend. God bless you.